big change this year. They overhauled the design completely to unibody aluminum design, like they used to, or like with MacBooks. That's where they started those, right? The MacBook unibody design.
And years ago, the first unibody MacBook was a good long time ago.
And that was I remember talking with you years ago about how the amazing innovation that was, making those unibody designs.
That was one of the rare times that they actually had Johnny Ive on stage for the introduction of that. And if you watch the keynote, because it was a brand new concept, they were passing through different stages of unibody enclosures through the audience for them to hold and pass it along.
It was a big deal because of the manufacturing process. I mean, you need CNC machines to mill out from blanks, and these are super expensive. I mean, these machines cost, I think, up to $1 million each.
Yeah, and Apple had cornered the market on them, bought up the entire supply chain of these
for a couple of years, and that was just for the Macs. And then even worse when they were doing iPhone stuff. So I think this explains why they haven't done it before.
You look at the bottom of a PC laptop from the mid 2000s, and it looks like you're looking at the bottom of a spaceship on Star Wars with all of the separate plastic panels and things that are sticking out at different levels. It was a genuine huge innovation.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, so now that comes to the iPhone 17 Pro and Pro Max. It's got a bigger. I think the notes here say forged plateau. I think they actually said heat forged plateau, which sounds like it comes right from the middle of a volcano or something. Like the iPhone Air, this design pushes almost all the main components into the top of the phone, leaving a space for a big battery. Probably the biggest innovation, vapor chamber for heat dissipation, which Apple says will give 40% greater sustained performance. Very exciting.
Yeah. I've seen a lot of people arguing about how effective this would be because, the heat is still going to be in the phone. How much is it? And it's going to be absorbed by the case. But honestly, there are a few advantages to this. First of all, it spreads the heat out over a greater area, taking them away from the one or two chips that get scaldingly hot on the inside. Also, I heard a theory that putting all of the components in the top half of the phone behind the heat forged plateau, a lot of cases probably aren't going to cover up the plateau. So if you have a chip that's in that area, it's not going to be insulated by the case. That heat will be able to escape easier. And also putting all those components on the top where you're less likely to hold, it won't burn your hand and you won't notice as much.
Did you? How big is the vapor chamber? Did you? Because I have to go back and look. I didn't pay attention. I didn't see it on the
I don't remember
the event, but it looked like it was actually a pretty big component, wasn't it? Didn't it kind of go down most of the phone?
Yeah, it looks like it's a good half or 2/3 of the height of the phone,
and it's actually. Well, there's a space inside, right, for the ionized water to move around.
I thought it was deionized water.
Oh, okay, yeah, whatever it was. Yeah.
I remember seeing that. It's wow, it's an odd thing to mention.
Probably so that if it breaks, it doesn't ruin the inside of the phone. Maybe, I don't know.
Oh, yeah, I wonder. There probably aren't that much different thermal properties between ionized and deionized water, is there? Yeah, but I wonder how much water is in there too. That's kind of intriguing, isn't it?
My question is, if you break your phone in a particular way, if you stab it in the exact right position, is your phone is the water going to leak out? I'm really curious about this. They don't really explain. I mean, presumably there are a few things between it and the outside, like the MagSafe coils, or they weren't exactly clear on where exactly it is inside the phone. But I'm very curious about how this works. The teardown is going to be very fascinating.
Well, wasn't this supposed to be the whole point of the the teaser, the thermal image that when it was supposed to be a big, and then they showed when they were talking about it, they showed thermal images, which is what made me think it was a larger component because it looked like you could see the heat spreading almost down the whole body. But then I guess they didn't make that much of it either, really, did they? It was it was there and gone in a second,
like every other thing. That thing was just a blazing fast. Looking at the site, it looks like it's kind of an L-shaped thing. Looks like it's fairly large.
I mean, also just switching it from titanium to aluminum alone, I think aluminum conducts heat 20 times better than titanium. So, and people are saying, oh, well, they just tried to sell us on titanium. Now they're switching back to aluminum. Make up your minds. a lot of the decisions they're making around the Pro phones, making it more clear that the Pro phone is for Pro users and the, quote unquote desirable phone is now the Air. The Air is the fashion statement phone, so now it gets the flashy look and all that. The Pro phone is more of a utilitarian device with the utilitarian cameras, the less interesting looking material, like it's just aluminum, a choice being made in the interest of practicality.
Yeah, and I saw people complaining it was ugly,
I kind of agree. I mean, I don't really like that sort of two-tone back look. It doesn't to me look as good as previous versions.
It's just like regular, sandblasted aluminum, the same look that they have been making on their MacBooks for the last 20 years.
Just in case you were wondering, the vapor chamber, it's it's laser welded.
Ooh.
There are all these little details that they put in these descriptions. It just cracks me up. Anyway, let's see. What else is great about this thing? A19 Pro chip, same one as in the Air. Fastest CPU ever in a smartphone, according to Apple.
And it's a beast, isn't it? I mean, the benchmarks are crazy.
Yeah, what did they say? Something like it's MacBook level performance.
MacBook level graphics.
Oh, graphics.
The GPU got a huge boost in the A19 Pro.
And the Pro one has a slightly better GPU chip, right? The Air has one less GPU core.
Yeah.
The Pro one has a brighter display with a peak of 3,000 nits. Let's see. Got the same center stage front camera as all the other phones.
Wait, hang on. Before we move too far past the benchmarks, we just actually published this article yesterday. Looks like about a 14% CPU improvement, 17 Pro versus 16 Pro, but a 40% better graphics improvement, 17 Pro to 16 Pro. Like single generation, 40% better graphics on the Geekbench 6 metal test, which is a pretty huge leap. That's what we've heard. The M5 isn't going to be very impressive. This is like the third iteration of the same 3 nanometer process. It's not going to be as big of a leap, at least CPU wise. Graphics, huge leap.
Yeah, kind of nutty. Let's see. First improvement to telephoto sensor in years. 48 megapixels now. 4x optical zoom, but crops into optical 8x zoom. I never quite understand any of this. This deep photographic stuff.
That's got to be a sleight of hand. Optical 8, if it crops in, how can it be 8 and optical 8x zoom, but it's actually not 8x.
I think they said optical quality is what they said.
Yeah, they say optical quality. The deal is like the sensor is high enough resolution that because the whole sensor is 48 megapixels in resolution, so you can quote unquote zoom in on the sensor to get a regular 12 megapixel photo from the middle that'll be as if you zoomed in. So this is actually pretty clever.
Yeah, for sure. And I saw some test shots, from the event, and someone had zoomed in to the Apple HQ, and it was amazing. I mean, they look really, really detailed.
I mean, honestly, the biggest problem with the current camera system in the 16 Pro is that there's a big gap between the 2x and the 5x. What they've done is they've, unzoomed the lens a little bit down to 4x so that you have less of a gap. Now you can zoom into 2x with quote unquote optical quality and then jump to 4x. But then once you're at 4x, you can freely zoom in and out just like you can on the main lines up to 8x, which is pretty insane. And I think they let you digital zoom all the way up to 12x or 20x or something insane like that.
Yeah, it's a bit of a. Do you think it's misleading when they say optical quality 8x zoom? I guess if it says optical quality, I guess that's okay.
Yeah, optical quality if you only want to take a 12 megapixel picture and only look at it on your iPhone, but you're not going to be blowing up an 8x picture on and hang it on your wall.
Right,
at poster size.
Yeah. Still, they look like fantastic cameras, and it's how many camera sensors does it have now?
Still three on the back and one on the front. They talk about it it's like you're carrying around 8 lenses in your pocket. No, not really, but sure.
Yeah, let's see. Everybody's going to love this. 18% bigger battery, supposedly 8 hours extra battery life. I suppose that's probably on the video streaming metric that they like to use.
8 hours is huge, isn't it? That's a big jump.
Oh, yeah.
256 gigabytes is now the entry level, and that comes with a $100 price increase, which is just heartbreaking. So what they
It's
start.
not too bad. It's not too bad, is it?
It depends on how you voted in the predictions game. So now the entry level Pro is $1,099.
Oh, another note about the battery. The battery is slightly bigger. If you're in the land of the free, the United States of America, the space where they previously had the eSIM is now a little more battery.
Why don't they do eSIMs in other countries? That's only US and EU, right? Any idea why they don't have eSIM in Asia? And
a lot of carriers across the world don't have eSIM support yet.
Yeah, and I mean, why anybody wouldn't want an eSIM, I can't understand. I mean, I love the eSIMs, and but for instance, last time I went over to Europe, I bought an eSIM like through some not through a carrier. Usually, when I would go to Italy, I would get a SIM card from a company there, and they would be much cheaper, better coverage, whatever. But eSIMs, I don't know. They've come a long way, and you can get a decent price on them. You shop around a little. You do all the installation here at your house, and wherever you land, you just flip it on. It's fantastic. Way better than trying to change it in an airport restaurant table or something after you've been through 8-hour flight. Yeah. Where's the little thing? Yeah, right. It's just terrible. So eSIMs are awesome. Yeah, and the fact that I like having a bigger battery too. So
Another difference, U.S. phones versus global phones, is that the U.S. phones have the millimeter wave antenna on the top edge of the phone, where it's not really visible in any Apple product shots, but like people in the hands-on area were taking pictures of these. There's like this weird like miscolored like plastic cement on the top. Mm-hmm. And my theory is that explains away the bizarre rumor we had like a month ago that's like the iPhone's going to get a second camera control on the top.
Right.
Like that doesn't make any sense. That cutout is probably for the millimeter wave antenna.
Yeah.
And you said that's only in US models?
I don't know if that's in US and Europe models, but because I'm an American and America is the only country that matters to me.
I see.
But
what else was there to say? I mean, my eyes glazed over when they were talking about all the video stuff. What do you know? It's got a better video camera, better everything camera, everything, just everything better. And I think what you're saying about this being more of like a pro utilitarian thing, I think that goes right through to the design. It doesn't look as, in my opinion, doesn't look as nice and polished and finished as previous versions. They made it look slightly more like a tool, which is what it is. And if you, talk about, they didn't talk about the Final Cut camera app during the thing at all. I don't think they mentioned it during the event, right? They sent out a press release later in the day, and oh my God, you read it, it's like it was written for, some Hollywood film technology website or something. I didn't. I had to look up so many words. I punted it. I'm like, nobody cares about this except for people who are making movies with these phones, which is increasing number of people, and they just keep getting better. And what was it? ProRes RAW. They shoot now.
RAW, yeah, crazy.
ProRes RAW, and
it's probably about a gigabyte every second or 50 gigs or something. It's crazy.
But these are legitimate cameras that people use to make legitimate movies these days. So, and again, as I say all the time, I'll probably end up buying one, and I'll probably won't use a tenth of its features, and I'll just think about, wow, I could be making a movie with this phone, but instead, I'm taking a picture of my sushi at a restaurant, right?
I was talking with Sam about this. Like, what do we think Apple considers to be like the flagship, like mainline phone ever since they first bifurcated with like the iPhone 10 and iPhone 8 and later like iPhones Pro and iPhone 11? I think it's clear that like this is the first time Apple doesn't consider the Pro phone to be the flagship phone. I think the flagship phone of the lineup is now the Air, and Apple considers the Pro to be like the niche production device for this exact reason. We have new cases. The Tech Woven case, quote, features a new technical woven fabric. That's just a completely made up phrase that uses multiple colored yarns. Like what? Does every Apple Watch band that now has multiple colored yarns, is that also now a technically woven band? Creating a dimensional texture and depth of color, while a protective coating provides resistance to scratches and stains. So we'll see about that.
I saw people scratching it on the hands-on area, and there was no sign of any of that, leaving blemishes. It does look a lot more durable. But hold on, we didn't talk about the colors of these
I
phones.
just was going to say.
Because that's probably, I mean, what did you think of the orange, the cosmic orange?
Oh, my God. You know, I've been looking at a bunch of the images on their site, and it kind of varies. Some of them almost make it look like it's actually orange. I just saw one now. Looks very bronze. God, I'm so tempted. I mean, a bright orange iPhone is what I've wanted for years. That's what I've been hoping for. And I see it, and it's like, pretty sure if I ordered that, I'm going to open it up and go, it's brown.
Well, some of the videos from the hands-on it made it look pretty, under the big intense lights at the Steve Jobs Theater, pretty bright and pretty colorful.
Orangish?
Yeah.
Would you say it looks more orange than bronze?
I'd say it looks pretty orange. Pretty it kind of reminds me of the Golden Gate Bridge. It's that kind of industrial orange.
International orange.
International
I haven't seen
orange,
any pictures that make it look like bronze or dark.
There's one that's, not dark, but just more of a brown orange. Yeah, if you look at, for instance, there's a picture of a tech woven case. It's got the plateau sticking out of it, and it's in a brown case. This is to me, this is the most incriminating is not the right word, but I think the most probably, it's not going to be the bright orange that I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I see. It's a little darker in the corner. Yeah,
it's I
mean, the thing is, the regular iPhone colors, the ones that are actually bright that we've been like, oh, why don't they bring these colors to the Pros? Those have been pretty unambiguously bright. Maybe 10% less bright than the Apple product photos, but I mean, those in the wild, an ultramarine iPhone 16 looks ultramarine. So maybe I'm a little confident. I think it's mostly to the brown tech woven case that might be bringing it down to your eyes. But
yeah,
honestly, I love the brown tech woven case. I'm genuinely sad that they're not making it for the iPhone 16 Pro, because I'm going to stick with my iPhone 16 Pro personally. I wish I had a brown case like that. It looks gorgeous.
God, I just I suppose I could spray paint the thing.
Yeah. So we have the bright orange. We have a dark blue. I'm curious how
that dark blue looks nice. I think that's a really nice looking color.
That one I'm concerned about, honestly, because
really?
a lot of their dark blues, the midnight, or I don't know what they call it, the dark blue MacBook Air that they made, it basically looks like dark gray. I'm a little less confident that is going to be as blue as colorful as Apple's product shots. No black, but we just have silver, which got a lot of people in a twist.
Right. Yeah. First time for a long ever, right? They've never had a black.
Yeah,
Pro model.
And the silver isn't as white. I don't think it's as white as the previous silver phones have been. It's more of a neutral silver, sort of just regular unadorned Apple silver, which I'm really happy about, because again, I've been saying actually this for years. I wish Apple made a black and silver phone. Not black with black aluminum, not black with white aluminum, black and unadorned silver. If I were getting a Pro, that's honestly what I would get. But
yeah, I thought the silver looked good too. The silver looks nice. Yeah. I think that's a nice looking.
I think a lot of people who are disappointed that there isn't a black color will actually enjoy the silver more than they were thinking they would.
If you look at them all three side by side, though, the silver and the orange definitely look two-tone. The glass insert in the back. We didn't really go over this, right? We said unibody design, but there's a lot more aluminum to this phone than there was titanium to the other ones, right? And the whole back is glass for the wireless charging. And if you look at the silver and the orange, the glass insert is definitely lighter and a different shade than the body. The blue one, it almost looks in this one product shot. God knows what it looks like in person, but it actually looks more like a single color rather than this weird two-tone look that I'm frankly not that crazy about. So
I think it looks cool, honestly.
The two-tone.
Yeah. I think Apple's product shots maybe blend the colors closer together than I've seen in actual pictures people have taken. But I think it's kind of neat how they they haven't gone to like their insane Apple lengths to like make it look like completely seamless. I think it makes the back look a little interesting.
Yeah.
Because otherwise it would just be like a giant slab of the same color, and I think
Right.
If that
I like it. I like it a lot. I think they look really nice.
if that color had like deep speckles and things, make it look glittery, then I'd be more. I'm like a fish. Like I need a glittery fish hook.
Well, maybe you get one of those glitter cases that my wife has. Where it has all the glitter that moves around inside.
Yeah, right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, is it deionized water though? I need to know.
No, I don't think it's deionized.
So they got tech woven. They also have silicone cases again in a interesting kind of array of colors. One of them being terracotta, which is very brown, neon yellow, which doesn't look as yellow as the current yellow, in which I have and love, purple fog, midnight and black, but also orange. And that orange case actually looks legit, straight up like bright orange. Mm-hmm. So maybe you put that on the orange phone. It covers up the to my eye unattractive two-tone glass back. You got a bright orange case. You got an orange plateau. You're all orange.
Mm-hmm. And we should say that the crossbody strap, the accessory that they're selling, comes in color matched options that match not just the iPhone Air, but all of the phones and all of the case colors. So if you're interested in that, you don't have to feel held back.
You can. Oh, and what that? Do those only work with the tech woven cases?
They work with the tech woven cases, and the clear case I think has the holes on the bottom as well.
Got it.
You're going all in on the strap.